Hi, I'm Neil Hoffman, CEO of FanRoll Dice.
And I'm Jamie Grove, co-founder of Mini Museum.
And I'm Cassandra Grove, lead researcher at Mini Museum.
And we're thrilled to announce our Roll with History collaboration.
It's a first-of-its-kind collection, a collaboration between Mini Museum and FanRoll, bringing you some of the most incredible specimens of history in an all-new form that's super fun.
Our mission is to share science and history, and we think the best way to do that is by sharing authentic specimens that you can hold in the palm of your hand. We're so excited to bring it to you with some of the most creative and talented people in the world.
Now you can roll with history.
We've been looking to try out new projects, new ways of sharing science and history with people. I mean, I love tabletop gaming. I love science and history too. So for me, this was perfect.
Science and history are ultimately about stories. That's what makes them interesting to us as human beings. Tabletop gaming is all about stories.
We have the ability to make really high quality gaming components. They have access to this one of a kind set of specimens. Putting us together, we're able to make some really, really cool products.
We have a lot of really exciting, authentic specimens in this campaign. A whole set of different dinosaurs: T-Rex, Hadrosaur, Triceratops, Alamosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus. And of course, there's also Dinosaur Dung. We're also bringing medieval chainmail to this collection. We have some pieces of 15th century medieval chainmail links. Another specimen that we're bringing to this dice collection is the Campo del Cielo meteorite, which is this awesome metal meteorite that fell to Earth in 2500 BCE approximately. Crowdfunding is all about bringing different creators together to make cool stuff, and I think Mini Museum and FanRoll just makes sense.
What makes us perfect for this project is we are true experts in dice. We have made millions of different dice. And this is a unique challenge. Taking dinosaur fossils, casting them inside of dice, hand polishing them is not an easy challenge. But we are up for this challenge. So what fans can expect: FanRoll's incredible quality, Mini Museum's authenticity, great packaging, great delivery, and this is going to be a one-of-a-kind product that you will be proud to unwrap and proud to play with.
Our philosophy when we're trying to source specimens for the Mini Museum is to ensure that everything is authentic, of course, but we also do a lot of work with field paleontologists to make sure that we're helping to support good science. We ensure that everything is collected ethically and, according to all the regional laws. And of course, we want to make sure that we're not harming any historical sites or any objects of value when we are figuring out things to put into our collection.
I'd love to say thank you. That's the most important part, because gratitude is what underpins everything that we do at Mini Museum. And so for us, crowdfunding is a journey and a gift from the backers. They make it possible, and without them, there is no journey. And so that's a big part of how we approach everything we do at Mini Museum, is, with gratitude. So thank you for making that possible.
All right, are we live?
That's it.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
And I'm Peter.
I am one of the lead researchers here at Mini Museum.
Yeah, me too. We both take on a lot of the research work.
And we're here to tell you about the Roll with History, Mini Museum, and FanRoll Dice campaign. So, welcome, everyone.
Yeah, we've had a great first week so far, and we're just keeping that momentum going. We want to thank you all, and now we're here to talk about the specimens and play with the dice and just hang out with the chat.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for today. We're going to have some guests on later. Eric and Carlin, who have done some of the prep work for the dice, are going to be on. We're going to have Neil from FanRoll Dice show up. Jamie from Mini Museum is going to be here too. So we've got a lot of exciting things to share. There's some new polls on the BackerKit page as well. If we want to take a look at those, you can go vote in those. I think there's some questions about dice, like different types of dice colors on there. I think for the chainmail dice, We've got some questions about different tabletop system or board game system games that you might use the dice for. So you can go ahead there and check that out on the page. I see one of our fans there in the chat talking about the Jurassic Park Jeep. I saw your messages, and I was really excited about like how that's going to look in your car. So keep us updated on that.
Yeah, send pictures.
That's awesome. All right.
Well, I assume most people who are going to be watching, they have an idea what this is all about, but maybe you real quickly can kind of walk us through what this is.
Yeah, so the Roll with History campaign, which is live right now on BackerKit, is Mini Museum's first collaboration. We are working with FanRoll Dice to create authentic dice with real specimens inside. We have fossils, we have chainmail, and we have a real meteorite inside of a D20 here, which we are very excited to be bringing to you soon.
Yes, and we have a few tiers to talk about in the campaign. Maybe you can show them off the first tier, the heavy metal medieval chainmail.
At our first tier here, the medieval heavy metal chainmail D20, that's going to come with this beautiful crystal clear, I could put it down here on the camera, crystal clear resin D20 that includes a link of 15th century chainmail. That is authentic chainmail that's down in there. That is going to start at $25. That's the first pledge tier that we're talking about today. We have a couple others as well. Do you want to tell them about the Campo del Cielo?
The Campo del Cielo. We were really excited to be able to include a meteorite in one of the die, and the Campo is just perfect because we can show them, give them a little close up.
Yeah.
Just how beautiful it is. It's nice iron meteorite.
Campo del Cielo right there.
Mm-hmm. And what's that tier at for just that one die?
This die is going to start at $49. Mm-hmm. And that is real.
Just look at that.
Meteorite iron in there.
Very, very nice. And then, kicking things up a little bit,
we have the Dinosaur Fossil set of 7 polyhedral dice set. This comes with 7 dice, each with a real fossil from the Mesozoic. We have T-Rex, we have some Hadrosaur in there, there's some Triceratops, some dinosaur poop, a couple others in there. We'll get to all of them later in the stream. We have a lot to say about
Comes
them.
in this nice magnet box, looks very good.
Yeah, beautiful packaging, magnetic flap here so you can open and close it, keep your dice nice, safe, and secure. And that starts at $99. The Dino dice set pledge.
But we have all
$99.
sorts of add-ons to go along with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's lots of cool add-ons in this campaign as well. We've got a bunch of rolling trays for everything. So there's like a T-Rex rolling tray. We have a chainmail rolling tray coming in too. I think we can show some of those up on the stream. And then there's also, this one is the one I'm really excited for, is the Fossil Dice Rolling Mat set. Mm-hmm. It is like this rollout mat that you can, roll your dice on. I think it's beautiful. It shows off pictures of the dinosaurs. It tells you about the formations that the different fossils come from and how old they are. I think it's super cool. You can get all of those as add-ons on the BackerKit page, or, and this is my recommendation, you can get one of the pledge tiers that is a bundle, get a little discount with it. So if you wanted to get the Dinosaur Tamer bundle, that is going to come with the dice set. It's also going to come with the dinosaur accessories like that rolling dice mat that we were just talking about. Okay. If you're looking to get all of the dice, my recommendation would be to go for the collector's set. So that'll be the Campo del Cielo, medieval, heavy metal, chainmail D20, and the dinosaur fossil set, all 3 of those for $149. And if you want to get everything, you can do the all-in set, that's $259. The all-in set also includes the new D6 dice. Mm-hmm. So that is a new announcement from yesterday. We're going to do a D6 set that has either 2 Triceratops bone D6s or 2 chainmail D6s. For all you board gamers out there.
Mm-hmm. You won't be bored playing with these.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that will take us into, we can talk about a little bit more. I've already mentioned it, but our first dice, the D20, the Campo del Cielo.
Yeah, let's get into it. So the first die we're talking to you about today, as Peter mentioned, is the Campo del Cielo Metal Meteorite D20. I can show it down here. This die comes from the meteorite Campo del Cielo, which is an iron IAB meteorite that fell in Argentina in around 2500 BCE, so that's about 4,000 years ago. We know that because of radiocarbon dating from charred trees in the area that were aflame when the meteorite landed. It caused a very large explosion, caused forest fires. A very interesting event. Now, while the meteorite has been on Earth for a little more than 4,000 years, it is actually far, far older. The material in this meteorite comes from the birth of this solar system. It was formed around 4.5 billion years ago.
With a B.
Billion with a B. This meteorite crashed in the Chaco and Santiago del Estero provinces of northwest Argentina. It left behind a huge strewn field. A strewn field is the area in which meteorite specimens can be found. What's very interesting about this specimen to me is that it was actually recorded in the oral histories of the indigenous people of the time. So there was this big cosmic event, this explosion in the sky, which brought forest fires, people died, and they told stories about this, for thousands of years until the Spanish arrived in the 1500s. During that time, metal from the strewn field iron was used to make weapons, it was used to make tools, things like that. The Spanish actually sought out that strewn field as a source of metal, since they had heard about it from the people living there. That strewn field, we've called it the Campo del Cielo strewn field. That is the name of the meteorite. That in Spanish means field of heaven, referencing where this meteorite came from, coming from up above from the stars.
Yeah, we love our meteorite specimens here. We were so excited to be able to include one in the dice campaign.
Yeah, we always like to start off like a mini museum with a super
Very
old
beginning.
meteorite. Yeah, all the way at the beginning. Birth of the solar system is usually a classic place we draw on. So we were very happy to get the chance to, put some of that in a D20 as well.
Yeah, and of course, we're always wanting to cover human history as well. Our next D20, Cassie can grab it.
Yeah.
That is the heavy metal, medieval heavy metal, the D20, the chainmail.
Yeah, this is the chainmail D20.
This material, the rings that we use for the dice, each one individually has a ring in it. All the material, it dates to the 15th century, comes from a variety of sources, all in Central Europe, dating to around that time. And what was interesting in our research was reading about this being the sunset of chainmail after like a millennia of use until it was supplanted by more advanced armor. So it is a nice little snapshot of human history. You can see, well, this is very nice. And the
Yeah, this is a
chainmail,
special cleaned section of the chainmail that we have for display purposes today.
yes, and the chainmail and the dice, you'll see it's weathered, it's battle worn. You can really see the life that it lived, hundreds of years ago. Kept in a personal collection for many years before we acquired it, and we've used it in our museums, in our jewelry, and now we're using it in these dice. We're really excited. Yeah, like I said, just a great snapshot of human history. It was valued for flexibility. A knight or a warrior could go around a little bit encumbered, but still be able to deflect, move around pretty well and deflect swords and arrows. And yeah, it is perfect for any kind of fantasy tabletop. If your knights or if your players are knights, then they're going to want to roll with these.
Yeah, I think that this is just such an excellent tie-in to the tabletop world.
I do too.
We actually have Carlin here, who is the technician that's been working on the chainmail. Carlin, do you want to come on?
Oh, I sure do. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, Carlin.
How's it going? Oh, it's going great. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so
Yeah, of
we
course.
brought Carlin on to talk a little bit about his experience in working with the chainmail. But first, number one question: what's your favorite die in the Roll with History set?
I mean,
There is the right answer.
I hate to be so on topic, guys, but I do really love the chainmail one. I just can I hold it? I just all the dinosaurs are of course cool, but I feel like this chainmail piece is so unique because even though it's a ring, some have different shapes or different bends, and I just do love this like medieval history and like the makeup as if it's a garment stitched together, even though it's a bunch of things grommeted or ironed together.
And now it'll be great to play with.
Yes, it will. So
Well, you two both very into gaming.
yes.
You both been to Gen Con recently. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that. Some
Yeah,
of your
we went to
favorite
Gen
things.
Con this year. Carlin and I are both big board gamers, so we were very excited to get the chance to go down to the convention. What was some of your favorite things to see there, Carlin?
Oh gosh, well it was a really fun time. I got to there's so much like cool board game stuff and people. I got to visit one of my favorite board game makers, Leader Games. That was really fun. I actually got to meet the artist who does the art for most of their games, Kyle Farron. You know, if you're a fan of Root, Arcs, Ahoy, you know, he's done that art. He has a really great style, and it was cool to meet him. I liked meeting all the different artists. There's a whole section of the convention where they call it like Artist Alley, and they have artists selling like different prints, stickers, merchandise, and it's just cool to meet and talk to these guys and talk about like what inspires them and stuff. And it was just also great to go with Cassie. You know, she's been multiple times, and you know, she was like showing me around all the cool different stuff on the convention floor, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, I think Artist Alley is super cool too. I was a big fan of hanging out there. That's also, you know, the first time that the whole team behind this project, you know, Neil was there, some of our friends over at Vala Marketing were there, so that was the first time that we had like everybody in the same room. So there was a lot of exciting energy around the Roll with History project. At that time too.
Yeah, so Cassie, I know I definitely picked up a few games there. You picked up a few new games there. What of your games, or either new or ones you've played a lot before, are you excited to use these new dice in?
I think I am most excited to use these dice to play Catan. So I've actually been playing a lot of Catan lately, picking that game back up again. And so the new D6 tier that we released yesterday, that's a big win for me. I'm excited to use the Triceratops dice for that game. I'm excited to use the Chainmail dice for that game. I also, on the role-playing side of things, I actually play a lot of Call of Cthulhu, which is maybe not that big of a surprise. Call of Cthulhu, of course, so much about it is historical research and, you know, a little bit of historical reenacting. And since, you know, that's what I do for my day job anyway, obviously I'm a big fan of that. So
the work never stops.
the work never stops. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can jump back a little bit and talk about the specimens themselves. You've done a lot of work with the chainmail specifically. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what that's like.
Yeah, of course. So Peter, you mentioned earlier that, you know, we have make jewelry out of this specimen. You can get a 4-in-1 linked piece at minimuseum.com. And the chainmail ring was first featured in the Mini Museum 2nd edition. So, you know, we've had quite the history with them. They're very pretty. And as Cassie mentioned, this is a really nice, clean, polished piece. But you know, the pieces of the garment we have, it's very old. It's a little rusty, dusty, and so you definitely want to be wearing gloves and an apron. That's what I do.
He has a very stylish apron.
Oh well, you know, I try, but and so, you know, to get out a single ring, you know, you cut a ring and separate them from each other. And with these die, we're taking those fragmented pieces and putting them in. And sometimes, you know, if the ring's too big, you know, because the dice has a very particular shape. Sometimes I'm stretching the ring out, sometimes I'm stretching it in, sometimes it's a very perfect fit, but it's always different with these rings, and they make very cool shapes.
Yeah, I mean, it must be cool just working with that every day when you're in the office.
Yeah, how does it feel to be working on 15th century chainmail every single day?
Do
you feel like a knight?
You know, I feel like I'm next to one for sure. You know, we know, you know, when this is from and where it's from, but you know, who it's from, that might be like a little up in the air, you know, whether this was you know, a training uniform, or maybe it saw some battles. It's cool, you know, it's fun to think about, like who or what, you know, could have been donning this armor. But
yeah, of course. And you know, that was sort of the excitement of being able to use it in the dice, is just bringing that to our customers and having them think about that when they're rolling.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Carlin. Thanks for sharing some of your wisdom about this specimen. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you do, and thanks for coming on the
Of
stream.
course. Thanks for having me, everyone.
Thank you. Carlin is putting in a lot of work for us. He'll be handing us some props, and thanks,
He's
Carlin.
helping with the behind the scenes too. So next up, I wanted to do a little shout out to something I found out about recently. There is this super cool role-playing game supplement that does dinosaurs in D&D, dinosaurs in Pathfinder.
Right.
This is an awesome project put together by the people at Paleo Games. It is the Dr. Drolin's Dictionary of Dinosaurs sourcebook. So you can check that out at paleogames.com/collections. There's awesome stuff like paleo art illustrations, there's research, fully statted out dinosaur stat blocks in there. Like I said, it's D&D and Pathfinder compatible, so I'm super excited to use this source book once we get the full set of dinosaur dice out.
They'll be a perfect fit together.
Yeah, so just thinking about what kind of games can we do, what kind of games can we play with these, I think that's going to be an awesome one.
Ooh, yes.
So speaking of dinosaurs, we'll get into the next die that we want to talk about. This will be the first die in the Dinosaur Fossils set of 7 polyhedral dice set, which is the T-Rex
You know him.
D20.
You love him.
Mm-hmm. So this is Tyrannosaurus Rex bone. It is 66 million years old. I'll put it down here on the camera so you can take a look. 66 million year old Tyrannosaurus Rex bone. This comes from the Hell Creek Formation in South Dakota. It's a Cretaceous formation, a very famous one. The Tyrannosaurus Rex grew to be about 40 feet long, so it's a very, very large dinosaur. We have this beautiful vertebrae fossil here from T-Rex. This is also from the Hell Creek Formation. I can get that down on the camera as well. Here, Peter, you want to hold the dice tray?
Yes.
Thank you. It grew to be about 40 feet long and weighed 14 tons. I think the teeth are probably its most impressive feature, which could be up to 12 inches long, so a whole foot. Pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex, obviously a dominating force in its ecosystem, being a huge predator, but also a lot of scientists saying that was probably a scavenger. Here at Mini Museum, we're of the opinion that both is probably true. When you are that enormous of a creature, you probably don't, turn your nose up at any possible meals, whether that be something that you hunt or something that you go out and find.
Nothing wrong with leftovers.
Yeah, nothing wrong with leftovers, especially if you're a giant T-Rex.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about Tyrannosaurus Rex is how fast it grew. So as a juvenile dinosaur, they could put on the better part of a ton in weight annually, which is just, massive growth spurts. And the bones of T-Rex were under tremendous stress during this growth period and also afterwards. After all, it was a 14-ton dinosaur. The vertebrae and the spine specifically were under tremendous stress in order to keep the dinosaur upright and moving.
Yeah, it's an iconic dinosaur. We thought it was just perfect for the D20 in the set.
Yeah, we're very excited to have this as the first piece in the dinosaur D20 set. So next up, what do we have next?
Next up, we have the D12. We have the Hadrosaur.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. The Hadrosaur Edmontosaurus bone.
Yes, Edmontosaurus, that's the specific genus that our material comes from. Cass will show it off. This is another one from 66 million years ago, the end of the age of dinosaurs, the late Cretaceous, as a lot of dinosaur fossils are. From that end of the Cretaceous, we get a nice little snapshot of where these creatures were at the end of their evolution. Our material specifically is from the Lance Formation in South Dakota. A little different than the T-Rex. These were large herd-living herbivores. The Edmontosaurus, our specific material, could grow to 39 feet and around 6 tons, so also pretty big. And their main evolutionary feature were these duck bills that looked like beaks and could carry hundreds of small teeth that they would use to grind through basically anything they could find, or any plant matter or rotten wood, anything, any kind of plant material that could sustain them. And they were extremely successful dinosaurs because of this diet, with a very diverse family tree, including iguanodon, sorry, Hyperchosaurus, and Maiasaura, many more.
Yes, Hadrosaur is extremely prolific dinosaur. I'm very excited to have them included in the set. After all, it's not just about the carnivores. I mean, I love my theropods, I really do. But hadrosaurs are just as fascinating a group of dinosaurs to me as, something like T-Rex.
Yeah, we wanted to show off all kinds of dinosaurs in the set.
Mm-hmm. We have a question here in the chat. Will the added material change the randomness of a roll?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. That's one of the first thoughts we had as well. The short answer is no, and the longer answer is we actually ran some tests about this. We rolled the dice a lot and tracked the statistical variance there, very low variance. This is something that I think Neil from FanRoll is going to get into a little bit more during the stream a little later. We have a video to share about that process too, because we did film those 1,000 rolls that we did. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, the short answer is you should be totally fine using these dice and, role playing or board game play.
Yeah, absolutely. FanRoll, they're the experts.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can talk about our next die, the D10, the Alamosaurus.
Yeah, Alamosaurus. I love the Alamosaurus. It is a very exciting dinosaur. Here we go. Here's the D10. Right here. I'll show it off on the hand cam too. So the Alamosaurus was an enormous sauropod. This huge, long-necked, long-tailed dinosaur. This fossil is about 66 million years old. It comes from the Javelina Formation in West Texas, right at the end of the Cretaceous period.
Mm-hmm.
You can hold that for me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Here is one of our Alamosaurus fossils. It is a very large bone section here. The Alamosaurus was the largest dinosaur discovered in North America. It grew up to 85 feet long and over 30 tons. Here's the other side of that fossil. You can actually see there's been some mineralization here in the cavity of this fossil. Some beautiful little quartzy bits here. I'll show that off down here too. Here we go.
Look at that.
Beautiful, beautiful fossil. There's the other side here. Beautiful textures. The Alamosaurus was part of the Titanosaur group, which was a subgroup of sauropods. It also had these osteoderm armor plates, osteoderms being little bony deposits inside and underneath the skin of the dinosaur. It used those for protection from predators. Another fun fact about the Alamosaurus and why it's one of my more favorite dinosaurs in the Mini Museum collection, it comes from the Javelina Formation, which is a very interesting fossil deposit. You usually think about the Hell Creek Formation as being like the big, cool end of Cretaceous deposits, but the Javelina Formation also goes right up to the end of the Age of Dinosaurs, right up to the extinction event.
It's on the come up.
It is on the come up. We're learning a lot more about it. And it is a fascinating ecological zone. Here you go. There were freshwater swamps in the Javelina Formation. There were angiosperm woodlands there as well. So the Alamosaurus had a very diverse environment that it traveled in. Lots of interesting dinosaurs and reptiles in that location as well. There were ceratopsids, of course, raptors, Quetzalcoatlus, which is the giant, enormous flying reptile, and then T-Rex was there as well. So Alamosaurus had quite a lot of company there.
Yeah, like a lot of dinosaurs, this Alamosaurus specimen, it tells us a lot about its environment. So the environment tells us a lot about this, and vice versa. It starts to form a clearer picture.
Mm-hmm. One more fun fact about Alamosaurus: it was the largest dinosaur ever discovered in North America, or at least so far.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. Maybe they just discovered a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go right on to the D100. The Pachycephalosaurus bone.
Yeah, this is our other D10, but it's got the tens place on it, so it's a D100.
Mm-hmm. This material is, look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
This material is also 66 million years ago. Another snapshot for the end of the Age of Dinosaurs, the end of the Cretaceous. This material is from the Hell Creek Formation, the other formation you mentioned. Let me see that. Thank you. In South Dakota. And this is another dinosaur with an interesting adaptation. They had distinctive skull domes, several inches thick. That's what Cassie's showing off right now. And they know, paleontologists know from stress tests that these would be capable of withstanding intense forces of high-speed headbutts. But, they're not entirely sure if that was the main use. Like a lot of dinosaurs, the picture kind of changed as more specimens have been discovered. And they think that the domes could also be used for intimidation displays, mating displays, and all sorts of things. The picture is a little more complicated. We know that these dinosaurs were likely bipedal, that they had knobs and spines around the dome. There you go. Really just interesting dinosaur, one that kind of shows off that the first impression that we get, which often trends towards, oh, this was for combat, this was for defense. Well, oftentimes it's more complex than that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was exciting to include this in the dice.
I think one of my favorite ideas about what Pachycephalosaurus might have used this dome for is that they would butt heads with each other in mating displays, much like deer do today.
Yes, not even for like real combat against other dinosaurs, but as like this dueling almost in their own species.
I think it's always interesting to think about like what were the behaviors of dinosaurs. I think a lot of early research into dinosaur life was about these big lumbering beasts, but it's important to remember that these were very complex animals, just like many animals are today.
Yeah, and another complex dinosaur we can talk about, the D8, the Stegosaurus.
Yeah, we got Stegosaurus coming up. Stegosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs. I've always, loved the little iconic back plates on it. I think they are super cool. So this D8 includes a piece of Stegosaurus plate. I will show that off here. Here we go. And the Stegosaurus, it is a Jurassic dinosaur. This fossil comes from the Morrison Formation in Colorado, which is about 150 million years old. I can show off the fossil here too. Yep. You'll hold that for me. Here we go. There's that Stegosaurus plate. Beautiful, beautiful fossil. The Stegosaurus was about 25 feet long, and its plates could grow up to 24 inches. So it had these huge features. Another interesting thing about these Stegosaurus plates is that they were thickly packed with a dense network of blood vessels. So they were not just bone, right? These were osteoderms that were not attached to the skeleton. And that network of blood vessels has led scientists to think that these plates were probably more used for thermoregulation rather than just, defense against other dinosaurs.
Another adaptation, recontextualize,
Mm-hmm. I like to imagine them as big heat vents for the Stegosaurus. I'll just show a little bit more of that fossil there. Here you go, Carlin. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlin. And
yeah, so Stegosaurus, another fascinating dinosaur with a very interesting evolutionary adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely.
While we're talking about dinosaurs, we're going to get Eric, who has been working on a lot of the fossil prep. Mm-hmm. He's going to come on and share a little bit about what he knows, what he's learned from working with these dinosaurs, and what that process has been like. Hey, Eric, come on in.
Hello. I'll just pop down right in the middle here.
And Eric,
the man of the hour.
Yes, you are running a stream right now or helping out. So just
it's true. Right now, I'm doing it hands free. No, that's just a little bit of a joke. We've got Carlin filling in for me while I'm on the couch here.
Well, we appreciate you both.
So, Eric, first question: what's your favorite die?
My favorite die, it might be a bit of a basic answer, but I'm a D6 man at heart. I think I've had more experience with it. Games like Monopoly, Risk, those classic games that you play with your family when you're trying to, kill an afternoon or two. But I'm very open to exploring other dice options within this set. Just playing some of these new, or new to me at least, role-playing or tabletop games, and exploring them through the lens of some of my favorite dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm excited to run a game for you.
Yeah?
I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
So you've done a lot of work on the dinosaur fossils with this project.
Yes.
What has that process been like?
It's very hands-on, and it's a fun part of my job, even though it's a lot of tiny, intricate, sometimes exhausting work, because a lot of my job is, I do a lot of the video production stuff here, and so I'm working on my computer a lot, or I'm typing, I'm editing, and it's nice to just like get away from the screen a little bit and work with my hands and kind of get back to the root of what Mini Museum is all about, which is working with these specimens and preserving these specimens and finding new ways for people to enjoy them and display them. And so working on this project, it's a lot of measuring. The dice specimens need to fit within a very specific range in order to fit inside the dice. So it's a lot of measure twice, nip once, nipping these dinosaur bones with some of our tools, and just making some piles and counting everything up, making sure we have what we need. But it's very nice to work with my hands and leave at the end of the day and see some dino dust on my pants or on my hands and know that it's been a day well spent working with my hands.
How does it feel working with this prehistoric material?
Yeah,
I think it gives you perspective, because you think about the story of where all of these fossils might have come from. And I remember there was one time when I was a kid, I was at the beach with my family, and this watch washed up on the shore, and I remember thinking, I wonder where this watch came from. Did it come all the way across the Atlantic from England or France, and what life has it led until now? And this is sort of the extreme version of that, because these dice used to be fossils. Those fossils used to be dinosaurs that were hunting their prey or butting heads in a mating ritual, and now I'm using them to collect rent on a hotel on Park Place or Boardwalk in Monopoly.
What a story behind these objects.
That's
right?
right.
So it's my understanding you also have some dinosaur trivia questions.
That's right. I'm not just here to answer some questions. I'm here to ask them. So I have taken the liberty of preparing 20 questions, and I will hold them very close to me like this. And you have the D20.
So I'm going to roll the D20.
That's right.
And you're going to pick one of those questions.
Yes.
And we're going to see if we get it right. Right?
Let's do it.
Do we have the camera on? Rolling the die. Here we go.
What we got?
That's an 8.
Okay, number 8, flipping through here. Whoa, right off the bat, we have one of our special Starry Nights trivia questions. That's Nights with a K.
So this is not dinosaur trivia. We're going to do meteorite and night trivia.
It's all encompassing.
I love it.
This is one of our special Starry Nights questions. Questions about our Campo and chainmail specimens.
Okay.
So our first one here. This is a Campo del Cielo question. Campo del Cielo contains high levels of which element that does not occur naturally on Earth?
Now, are we competing? Should I hit the buzzer if I know it?
I know the answer, but I'm curious if you know the answer.
It's iridium.
It is iridium. That's right. And you know what? In a roundabout way, this is also a dinosaur question.
Yes, it is.
Because,
unfortunately
for the dinosaurs, at the KPG extinction event, where you see that level in the geologic record, you see a very thin layer of iridium, which is thought to have come from the Chicxulub asteroid impactor.
That's right.
Because iridium is very rare on Earth, and so it's a good identifier for meteorites.
Yeah.
Well, don't share all your iridium facts just yet, because we do have another question about the KPG boundary layer, which we could get to later, or maybe not. I don't know how many of these we're doing.
Let's do another one. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Gotta do a couple.
All right, what's next? We've got... That's a 19.
19, all right. All the way at the back of the deck here. This specimen was found in the Skull Creek Quarry and dates to approximately 150 million years of age.
Okay, I know this one. Peter, do you know this one?
Nah, hit that buzzer.
I've got this one.
Not
I'll
sure.
hit the buzzer. This specimen, Skull Creek Quarry, that has got to be Stegosaurus plates.
You would be correct. Peter, let's keep up, shall we?
Okay.
I'm sorry, that was...
You're so cruel to him.
Cassie's in the lead. That's fine.
All right, let's do one more.
It's still anyone's game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got... Oh, that's 19 again. So I'm going to re-roll that
A
one.
re-roll? We've got a re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a 12. What do we have on 12, Eric?
Well, 12, I believe, is another one of our Starry Nights chainmail special questions.
Okay.
So, let's get to it. What does the phrase mail of proof mean?
Mail of proof. Well, do you want to take a crack at this?
Thanks. I'm not sure the exact phrasing, but it is like a quality assurance thing that it was actually tested before it went into battle. Is that right?
Yes. They test the chainmail with a proofing process to make sure that it can survive, blows from arrows, swords, any sort of piercing agent. And once it has been proven, it is mail of proof, and it can be worn into battle.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, there we go. Thank you. We have some more trivia questions, so we might do a little bit more of that later in the stream. But thank you, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for all your help working on the dinosaur fossils as well.
Oh, of course. I'm happy to.
Thank you so much, Eric. Cassie, just real quick, I see we have a repeat question about the dice being balanced, and we're going to cover that in depth in a little bit when we're talking with Neil, but we have run tests. There is... well, maybe you can just...
Yeah, we actually did run some tests. I think this question comes from Zosima. How do you ensure that the dice are balanced with specimens inside? We ran tests on them. So we did 1,000 rolls, and the results came out as, statistically, significantly, perfectly fine, A-okay. There wasn't any, major variation on a certain face of the die or anything like that. And we'll get into that a little bit more, too. We've got a video of those 1,000 rolls that we're excited to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you for the question.
Yes, thank you. And thank you again to Eric. And we're going to go back.
Yeah, let's hop back into our dinosaurs.
Talk about the last few dice in the set.
We've got the Triceratops D6 coming up next.
Mm-hmm. There. Oh, I almost forgot my prop. You know him. You love him. It's a Triceratops. This is another fossil from 66 million years ago, end of the age of dinosaurs. This one is from the Hell Creek Formation, which we were talking about earlier. They were a bit bigger than this, around 29 feet long, with frills, beak-like mouth, 3 horns. Thank you.
We have some beautiful Triceratops bone to show you here as well.
Look at that.
Some of the fossil that we're using.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
You
can see the porous material of this bone.
They are identified best by their horns. Some research suggests the horns change during adolescence, signaling maturation. And this is another case where I think paleontologists, when Triceratops was first identified, pegged the horns as being used for combat. That's where you get that kind of classic image of a Triceratops facing off against a T-Rex at the end of the age of dinosaurs. But we know it's that could be the case, but it's also more complex. The frills and horns may have been used to identify members of the same species within large herds, because they moved about in big herds. Sort of a little calling card. And just another iconic dinosaur we're excited to show off.
I really love Triceratops and all sorts of ceratopsids. I think they might be actually one of my favorite dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Might be number one.
Number one?
Number one. I'm going to say it.
I'd have to think about my answer. You'll have to stay tuned for that.
All right, what's next?
Next is one we're very excited. And you are lucky enough to tell them all about the D4 Dino Dung.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is the D4, which has a piece of dinosaur poop on the inside. Let me get that down on the close-up camera here. That is dinosaur poop.
AKA coprolite.
Yeah. Scientifically, these are known as coprolites. This specific coprolite is 150 million years old. Comes from the Jurassic Morrison Formation in Utah. We can see this is a beautiful example of coprolite. You can see on the inside, it has mineralized into these lovely pinks and reds.
Mm-hmm. Poop's never looked that good.
Poop has never looked this good. We've got some nice grays and browns over here. Let me get you on the close-up camera with that too.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Fascinating. Just gorgeous. Look at that rich color. Coprolites are trace fossils, so these are not, biological remains of a specific dinosaur. They are not bones or skin or anything like that, but they are instead a record of the animal, specifically its poop. The coprolite fossils themselves, they're very high in phosphorus and calcium. So high in phosphorus, in fact, that they were once used as fertilizer. I believe in the Victorian era there was a lot of demand for coprolites since they were so helpful to agriculture. This specific poop, the one that is going to be in the D4, comes from a long-necked sauropod, and it fossilized into that beautiful rock. Coprolites are very important for paleontologists since they help them identify what dinosaurs lived where. It teaches them about their diet, teaches them about their migration patterns. So yeah, I love coprolites. One of my favorite kinds of fossils, so I'm very excited that we got to include one in this dice campaign. I think it's an excellent capstone and kind of the perfect thing to fit into the D4.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that is the full run of the dice that we have in this campaign.
Let's show off that box again.
Yeah, we'll show it off. Here is the dinosaur fossil box. Once again, the set of 7 polyhedral dice. You can hold on to that for me.
Oh, sure. Got this nice magnetic block. Opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Got the full set right there.
We're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we are going to have our first interview.
Stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yep, we'll be back in just about a minute or two.
Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for the support. We're back.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We're going to take a couple minutes before our first interview. To be honest, it's the first time we've been doing this interview live. So we got to make sure that all the pieces are good to go on the technical side. But while we wait, we're going to have Eric come back on. We're going to do a couple more trivia questions real quick.
Yeah. And during this time, while we're doing the trivia, you can check out the backer kit page. Make your pledge if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, just drop them in and we can answer them.
Yeah, I think we passed, 190,000 earlier today?
I think
on the
we're at
backer kit
195.
page. That's awesome. So
Thank
we're
you so
already
much.
off to such a
Thank
great,
you.
strong start. So we're going to do a couple of trivia questions.
That's right. I'm back. Peter, maybe you can catch up on this round.
Okay, pressure's on.
All right, here we go. First question. I've got a 6.
Alrighty, number 6. It is commonly believed that Triceratops horns were used for combat. What piece of evidence potentially contradicts this theory?
I believe
too.
that part of their horns were hollow, right? Is that correct?
That is correct. The bottom third of the horns was hollow, and they would have been easily damaged in combat. But that doesn't mean that they didn't still, give it the old college try anyway.
Mhm.
So, there we have it.
All
Vis-a-vis
right.
Triceratops.
Let's take another one, and then I'm getting the signal that I should go check and see if our room is ready real quick.
Well,
I've
take this one. Why don't
I've
you
got
run over
9.
Number
So,
9.
Number 9. Peter will answer this one. I'll be right back.
Love potion number 9. Never seen it. Okay, we have another Stegosaurus question.
Okay.
Stegosaurus plates. And, for this one, those of you watching along at home, you might be able to answer this one too. Stegosaurus plates and spikes are also known as osteoderms, meaning that they form where?
In the skin.
In the skin. That is right.
Easy.
Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Under the skin. Scarlett Johansson. Haven't seen that one either.
Okay.
I'm vamping.
Okay.
Let me reach over here, and do you want me to roll another d20? Or roll another question? No?
I think you should go back.
Okie dokie. Let me just gather up my index cards.
Thank you again, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
Peter,
Okay.
we're ready to do the switch.
And I think we are going to switch back to our waiting room for just a second, and then we'll switch over to this call. So just another minute or two. We'll be talking to Neil at FanRoll Dice, the expert on the dice making. And yeah, let's switch over.
All right, hi everybody, we're back.
Hello.
And we've got Neil from FanRoll Dice here with us. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
we're
How are
good.
you doing?
Great.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Neil, first question for you. What is your favorite die in this campaign?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
It's like asking you to
think
choose
as-
your favorite child, right?
Yeah, as a D&D player, it's the chainmail. So the fact that it was crafted by the chainmail was crafted by human hands like 600, 700 years ago, and that has now made its way into my hands, there's something really special about that. And I love how that history kind of changes hands and preserving that history. So I'm going to go with chainmail.
I think that's a great answer.
Oh yeah, and as we've said, perfect for fantasy tabletop.
Mm-hmm. So, Neil, we want to talk to you a little bit about this collaboration that we're doing between Mini Museum and FanRoll. I'd be interested if you wanted to share, any of your side of how this collaboration came to be and what you're thinking about it.
Yeah, so FanRoll, we make dice and tabletop accessories. I would like to say that we are the premium accessories and dice in the marketplace. Nothing we do is a label slap, so everything is unique and really built around the end customer. So we had done a really cool campaign for Settlers of Catan, and we really upgraded all the different elements of their board and used all these different materials. And we did that with BackerKit, and BackerKit came to us and said, hey, this is awesome. We'd love to introduce you to the Mini Museum guys. So we ended up getting on a call, and I kind of explained our process of, hey, we can put cool stuff inside of dice. And usually we do, beholders or monsters, but we can put real artifacts in there. And then talking with Cassie, talking with Jamie, learned about what are all the different artifacts that Mini Museum has access to. And the hardest part was trying to narrow it down to what do we want to do. And we want to try and hit different types of fans. So we knew that there were dinosaur fans. So we knew we wanted dinosaur fossils. And we debated, do we want to do just a T-Rex? Do we want to do a whole slew of dinos? We ended up coming up with this idea of each die had its own fossil for a different dinosaur. And then we would, on the highest facing number, do an etching of that dinosaur so that you could look at it and be like, oh, there's Triceratops in there. And I thought that was really cool, especially with the dinosaur poop. Then we chose chainmail, of course, which is my favorite. And then we started talking, and then we started talking about meteorite fragments, and decided that would kind of cover us through this idea of roll through history of, we could do something ancient with the dinosaurs, we could do the meteorite, we could do something recent with the chainmail. And then we took it to prototype stage, and that was fun having, I've never received dino fossils in the mail. I mean, that was so cool. And creating these one-of-a-kind prototypes, sharing them with the Mini Museum team, and then we all have this focus on quality and authenticity, and it was just really cool to go through that process. And we have, a handful of these sets on hand, and they're really, really special.
Yeah, thank you for that answer, Neil. That's fantastic. I real quick see there's a question here from the chat about export documents in regards to passing customs, which is a good question. We have been doing international shipping here at Mini Museum for 10 years, over 10 years at this point. We've shipped to countries all around the globe. And, we do our best to ensure that every single customer, no matter where you're living, to the best of our ability, we can get your stuff to you. We very rarely have problems, so everything should be perfectly fine. If you are outside the United States, if you are, shipping to Europe or to Africa or to Asia or anywhere in the world, we should be able to get you your specimens.
And on the off chance there is an issue, you just write in and one of us answers it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, Neil, back to your interview here. Is there anything you'd like to share about the manufacturing process behind these dice?
Yeah, so we have, obviously our secret manufacturing process, where we hand cast these. So we're using resin, we're casting the resin around the artifacts. And then what we're doing here are sharp edge dice. So there are two types of dice. There is tumbled rounded edge dice, and those are like what you play with Monopoly, where they go into a tumbler and they get rid of the hard edges. But what we do is we sharpen those edges. So they are called sharp edge dice because they've been hand polished to get that really nice, almost like casino type feel. And then we really spent a lot of time thinking about the packaging, and we wanted premium packaging that reflected the quality and the thought that went into the product. So, especially for that dinosaur set where it's a magnetically sealed box, it's a collector's box, it has the dino information inside. A lot of thought was put into this. This is not just throwing stuff into a bag, right? We love this and we are treating it that way.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we were most impressed about. Obviously, with our own campaigns, we take all the little pieces of what makes a mini museum, the packaging, the guide, and the certificate. We take that very seriously, and we were just totally blown away at how awesome some of the stuff that you put together here is. I mean, I've been handling these dice all day, and they are just beautiful. The sharp edge dice are so premium. I love how fantastically crystal clear they are as well. I mean, I've been very impressed.
And I think what we really love about working with you guys is the authenticity, right? And because the people in my world love our dice, and then they come to us and they're like, look, you're telling me that there's triceratops in here. How do I know that you're not just putting rocks in there? Like, how do you know anything about triceratops? And I'm like, I don't. That's why I went to Mini Museum, and that's all these guys do. And they've built this amazing company that's done millions and millions of dollars on crowdfunding and these incredible projects. And these guys know what they're talking about, and they're going to get us the artifacts. So to me, this is like a match made in heaven because we know how to make stuff, but we didn't. I mean, I find it fascinating that you guys go and find ways to source these materials, and really thrilled to work with you guys.
Yeah, and it's been such a fun collaboration as well. I think, that's something that really comes through in the project and really comes through in how the page on the campaign looks. Like, it's just been an absolute blast with working with everybody on this team.
I mean, I think we like each other, right? Our companies had not had a chance to interact. We respect what the other people do. I actually bought Old Ironside's artifact from you guys for my dad for Father's Day. I know you guys have gotten a bunch of my dice, and then we just get on the phone, we hang out, and there's just something cool about these like two small companies that are in these niches where we like delighting our customers. Yeah. And the stuff we make are wants, they're not needs. And when people want this stuff, because it's not a need, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be special. It's going to hold a space on your shelf or, on your desk. And, it needs love put into it. And that's what we do. And I think we both approach it with that same thinking.
Totally agree. And, I think that gets to one of the most important points about crowdfunding for me too, which is just the passion behind everything, right? Crowdfunding is about people like us working together with fans like our fans to make awesome products for awesome people.
For me, the crowdfunding, it's like it's a domino, right? So we're doing this project, I'm having a ton of fun, but I'm already thinking about, okay, what can we do on the next project, right? And there's something so fun about, as you're doing this, you're realizing this is a journey, not a destination, to quote Brandon Sanderson. So this is just a moment in time that we're doing something together, but there's going to be so much more, and this is just the start of it. So I'm just so excited to have met you guys and to start working with you, and to start making these dice.
Me too. So moving on to another question. One of the first things that we wondered about with these dice, and something that we've gotten a couple of questions about during the campaign and during the stream, was about the balance with having a specimen inside the die. Now you guys are the dice experts, and you took this very seriously. And we actually have a video of your work in, rolling this die, trying to make sure it was totally fair. I think Eric's going to play some of that now. But while we've got that on the stream, do you want to tell us a little bit about the process behind how you determine fairness and inclusion dice like this?
Let me set up the video before we do it. And so when we cast this die, there is a piece of material in the middle of the die. So first of all, we're trying to get that into the exact center of the die. So the closer we get to the center, the less possibility there is for it to be off balance. Additionally, you're throwing the die, right? So it's going to be a level of randomness when you're rolling it anyways. And we make tons of inclusion die. And what I tell people is it would take more than 10,000 rolls for you to even notice if it were slightly leaning to one number or another. So I would say, look, I wouldn't play craps with these. I mean, honestly, I would, but I think over the course of a year, you may see one number maybe pop up in like one or two of the dice if they were uneven. But for what everyday people and gamers are using it for, you'll never notice it. And as part of that, I said, look, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And somebody from our team actually filled themselves rolling the die 1,000 times, marking off what it was. And then we did a statistical analysis. So this is not just on random die, this is on the dice from this campaign. So it is statistically random. And let's take it to that video and you can see Tyrell doing his 1,000 rolls there.
Yeah, we've got him rolling the dice right now on the screen here. I have to say I was actually very impressed with this video. I don't think I've told you this fact yet, Neil, but back when I first had the prototypes, I was curious as well, and I tried to do my own version of this. I got to about 40 rolls, and I was like, okay, that's enough for me right now, right? The results looked very promising already, but then to see Tyrell come in here and do 1,000 rolls, he totally kicked my butt on that. So I can't imagine how long that took him. The video here is pretty sped up. How long was he rolling for? Like a couple hours?
Yeah, it was a few hours.
That is impressive. Awesome.
But it shows like we want to put our money where our mouth is, and like when we say something is legitimate to play with, we're going to show you, we mean what we say.
Nice. Oh, we got a fan here in the chat saying that they have a spreadsheet and they perform 100 rolls for every new set of dice that they buy. So we'll be interested to see what you get from that. We'll be interested to see, hey, how do these dice come up? Because it seems like they're going to be coming out totally, perfectly balanced.
Yep.
Yeah, and I did some research to try and figure out how many rolls do we need to do to be statistically significant. And doing 1,000 is way overkill, but I figured I'd rather way overdo it and prove it to people. So
awesome. Well, I think we got time for one more question with you, Neil. I was curious, do you have any favorite gaming memories that you want to share about on the stream?
Oh man, so I'm a little older than you and gray-haired, so I grew up during the Dungeons and Dragons' evil era, where they were worried it was tied to Satanism, and it was crazy. So like to play, your parents were always looking at you, and my parents gave me a lot of leeway. But I remember hosting a game one night, and there was one guy that I didn't know very well that we invited, and he decided to come in character.
Oh my!
So it was like me and my friends, and I'm like, Mom, no, it's cool. It's just Dungeons and Dragons. It's dragons. It's fun, and I play this rogue, and it's great. And this one dude comes in his cloak, and I remember him freaking my parents out. But listen, man, geeks won. We rule the world.
That is amazing.
My geekdom is more on the comic book side. That's what I love to do. But I've played all the different games, and I appreciate people who have different fandoms, whether that is dinosaurs, whether it is archaeology, whether that is gaming. Anybody who is passionate and into something, we all get each other, and I think there's something so cool about that. And I think that's why your fans and our fans are kind of vibing on this is we're all into our hobbies, and this is a cool way to express it.
Well, thank you, Neil. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
it's been
thank you so
good,
much.
Yeah, to get you on the stream here and chat in front of the audience. So, thanks again, Neil. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for the opportunity to work with you guys. And
awesome.
To anybody who's viewing, thank you. I know you guys work hard for your money, and you choose where you spend it. And the fact that we've, almost broken $200,000 in dice with dinosaur fossils is amazing. So thank you for the support. We love doing this.
Yeah, it's been an incredible run.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Neil. I think we're going to cut away back to our main feed here
All
for
right.
a second.
Mhm.
All right. So that was Neil Hoffman, CEO of FanRoll Dice. We're going to take one more quick break here. And then when we come back, we'll have Jamie from Mini Museum.
Yeah. Stick around, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in just a second.
Yep.
And we're back.
Hi, everybody. We've got Jamie here on the line. He is here to tell us about the Mini Museum side of Dice. Jamie here is the general manager here of Mini Museum. He does a lot of work behind the scenes, and he does a fair amount of work on camera as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I
Jamie,
make
how's it
sure
going?
that I'm doing good. I make sure all the Apatosaurus burgers are flat, and that they grill really well and all that good stuff. But I'm doing great. So as you might imagine, I'm always full of funny things to say.
Well, thanks for coming here. First question for you. First question we've had for all of our guests. Which is your favorite die from this set?
My favorite die. So that's super hard, right? Because when I think about the specimens, they're kind of like all my children, right? And so like picking one is hard. And your overview was amazing, and so that made it even harder because I was like, no, I'm gonna say that one. I'm gonna say this one, but I'm just gonna go back and say what's the one that I find the most inspiring, and it's definitely Campo de Cielo. To me, what I love about that meteorite die is it's 4.5 billion years old. There's a lot of cool dice out there, but I don't think any of them got stuff in it that's 4.5 billion years old and came from outer space at the birth of the solar system. I love that. That's one of the reasons I love all the meteorites that we do at Mini Museum. But also, the human story is also the other thing that's really unique about that one. And you already went through all that earlier, and people can read about it on our website and stuff. But to me, it's so powerful that this object, 4.5 billion years old, travels through space for millions and millions of years, and then comes here and lands, and of course it explodes and stuff, and then it becomes part of local lore, and now it's in your house, and that's just fascinating to me, end to end. So sorry, that's a little long-winded. All my answers.
No, I think
are long.
that's a great pick.
No, absolutely. It's a beautiful meteorite. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what our mission is with this project, how kind of changes from what we usually do, and what's new and what's old.
So this project is partially an experiment, and Neil talked about how we got together with FanRoll, but it even goes back a little bit further than that because I approached BackerKit in particular because they have these cool copias where they bring together all these different creators, and my idea was like, well, we have this huge archive of stuff in our collection. Wouldn't it be cool if all these creators like did some stuff with it and shared it with people? Because that's what we do. Like we share science and history, we share the love of science and history. Our goal is to inspire wonder and all the other funny stuff that I've said like a billion times over the years. And I just thought, wow, well, let's get this stuff into other people's hands too. And we provide the authenticity, like Neil said. We're working with this, and we're very careful with it. Eric showed some of that, and so did Carlin, and they're both doing a great job. And Cassie, you still, I think, are #1 specimen producer of all time, even though a lot of people try to take your crown. But yeah, it's for me the mission of this project. It's an experiment. It's an extension of what we do, and it's to reach people who tell stories already, which is the role-playing universe, people that we think we connect with, because smart people like dice, and smart people like stories, and so it kind of all fits together. And so we thought, let's just give this a try and let's try to do something fun with it. So that's kind of the mission of this. And I don't know, Eric, do you have that picture that I sent in? I don't know if we're ready for that or if that was going to come later.
Yeah, we
or
can
not.
switch to that.
Yeah, sorry, it kind of feels like it dovetails in, but no, not Tyrell, but I still want to know what those snacks are on top of Tyrell's fridge, and I'm going to find out. Oh, that's us. There, I see us. My video here is running a few seconds behind, but yeah, so that's us. That's you and I, Cassie, at Gen Con 2 years ago, and this picture is super special to me because I went to Gen Con. I used to work at ThinkGeek. I think some people know that. So it's kind of my crew, my crowd, and so I decided to go to Gen Con after many years of not going. But you are going, and you are doing stuff there because this is definitely your crowd. And I just watched you do so many cool things there, and just in your mode, I was like, oh, you got to do something in this space. So that brewing, kind of like thinking about all that. And then this came up, and then it all just kind of worked out. But this picture to me is actually, if somebody were to say, Jamie, why'd you do this project? Well, there's all the marketing speak I just said, which is true, right? That's the mission of the company, and I believe very strongly in that. Education, science, and history. I also worked at Highlights for Children, so I've dwelled amongst the educational products world for a long time. But this picture is why I do this. This picture is why I do Mini Museum in general, because I love working with you, Cassie. And I love you too, Peter.
Aw, shucks.
So thanks for putting that up there.
No, I'm glad that we were able to get that picture, because that's a very important picture to me too. Sharing physical artifacts is such an important part of Mini Museum's mission. How did this project, or I should say, how does sharing those physical objects? What is so special about the objects themselves?
Yeah, so there's two aspects to that. So when I got involved in this it's been like, I guess I'm over 12, 13 years I've been involved in Mini Museum. I'm a science and history guy by, just my personal habits. I'm a super nerd. Despite all the games that I have here, I've got shelves over here just stocked up with books. So for me, like, mentally I got it, but when I physically, like, I took these things when you were small, and then your brother Sam was much smaller. I went to Sam's classroom with some of the specimens from the Mini Museum way back in the day, and I did this, like, just showing kids, here, let's touch a piece of the moon, let's touch a dinosaur. And when they saw the Mini Museum, kids literally walked past a piece of Mars because they wanted to look at the Mini Museum and wanted to see that. I've also seen kids where they get a specimen in their hand, where they actually get like a tooth or something like that in their hand. It's totally different. Museums, the physical museums are amazing, and it provides access to so many people, but there's nothing like, it's a very human experience to touch something, and to hold that, and then to be connected, kind of transported across time. and that's kind of the big picture there. And I say that, and people go, oh yeah, that's right. And then if I put that meteorite in your hand, or I put that dinosaur bone in your hand, or I put that piece of chainmail in your hand, suddenly you kind of like get quiet. Like everybody does. I've literally never given a piece of one of these objects to somebody and had them go, eh. They go, oh wow. Even the most jaded person on earth is connected to this deep history. So that's the core of what we do. And for me, that connection means something in terms of making people feel good about life and make people feel good about their place in the world, even when the world isn't great. And that kind of thing breeds empathy, basically, and it helps connect us all and basically makes the world better. I know that's crazy to talk about in the context of sharing little boxes that have specimens in them or sharing dice, but those little things add up over time. The dice themselves are perfect for that. So what's super cool about dice are they're active and they're a part of a storytelling experience you're sharing with other people. We heard Neil tell a story from his childhood, which was hilarious, but also like he remembers that, and I'm not sure all those other people remember that. And I think that when you think about how these things interact, now you've got a piece of dinosaur and somebody rolls out and they're like, what's in that die? I see there's something in there. They're like, oh yeah, it's a piece of T-Rex, or it's Pachycephalosaurus or Triceratops or whatever. And then people are just like, what's happening? And then so there's a conversation and a story that goes along with that. There's deep history that goes along with that. So all that stuff kind of like comes together into one project. And I don't know, I'm passionate about what I do, so I could talk about that for a long time.
No, I appreciate that. That's a beautiful answer.
Oh, that's great.
Eric, I think we can switch back and get the big picture of Jamie now as we go into some of our next questions. The next thing I wanted to ask you, so dice is the new medium for the next mini museum project, the current mini museum project. Why dice specifically? I mean, we talked a little bit about being able to share that, but why share it as dice?
So I jumped into that a little bit there at the end. I kind of ran over that question with the last question, talking about how that kind of connects. So it's an interactive element. And what's different about it, and I wrote about this, did an update to backers, and that went out, and I think we sent one for this project, and maybe there's some on the website. But the main thing here is that, for us, why dice, is that if you think about it like as a kind of a conceptual thing, dice are kind of alive in a way that an object sitting there is not, even though I told this great story about how it connects you and transports you and everything else. But dice literally are alive. You roll them. They are part of the story. They're part of the game. They influence dynamics. And to me, it's the fact that you're doing it over and over and over again. You're sharing that with other people. The mini museum itself was designed to be carried in your pocket. Like the very first versions were very, very small. And the idea was that you could take this cool thing with you wherever you went. And the dice are exactly that. They are. You can put that D20 in your pocket in a nice little bag and take it with you. And hopefully you do. And hopefully you share it with other people. That's really what mini museum's all about. So that's why dice.
Awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you can guess our next question. We asked Neil. You got to tell us your favorite gaming memory.
Yeah, what kind of gaming memories do you have?
So I have lots of gaming memories as a kid. Sorry, I'm kind of like grabbing my nose here. I got like some dust flying around. I had a spider on me earlier too. It's still
very
on
frightening.
I never got rid of it. It like jumped away, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Well, maybe we can ask it its favorite die too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know, but. Yeah, so what's my favorite gaming memory or precious gaming memory is during the pandemic. We played D&D, and you were the game master for you were the dungeon master for us, and it was one of those things we all looked forward to, and then it became like one of those things we kind of needed. And to me, that was probably the most powerful gaming memory that I have. And I have lots of other ones. I have crazy gaming memories with crazy campaigns and different kinds of games, but if I had to say what's my favorite gaming memory, it's gaming with family and gaming during that time where, it was us together. And It was super powerful. And also Sam's horse was very long in that game, the long boy. So it's hard to forget that.
Yeah, that's a very important memory to me as well.
It's a very important memory.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you'd like to say to the backers?
Obviously, thank you. I'm always saying thank you and expressing gratitude. This is Mini Museums a journey, and a journey doesn't happen without your support. And so whether you back this campaign or another campaign, you kind of like came in to see what was going on with Team Mini Museum, or you bought something from us, or you just like what we do, thank you for being a part of that. We have, gosh, after all these years, we have so many people, 120 countries around the world, and nearly 200,000 customers, and it's crazy. And so thank you, and also thank you for bearing with us too, because we send a lot of emails and all that good stuff, and we just get excited. So hopefully you're as excited about science and history as we are. So that's probably the big one. Is just super thank you to everybody. And I would say if folks that have questions too, that jump out there on the discussion boards and share them. Even if you want to just talk about cool stuff, that would be awesome out there. You want to share the project, that would be super cool too. I know we've got other things planned that we haven't announced yet, so I'm not going to spoil any of that, just to say there's stuff coming. So keep an eye out and help us spread the word. Hopefully the stuff that I talked about today about why we're doing this kind of meshes up with why you're into it, and you can see where I'm going with that and where we're all going with that, and help us out with that. And again, thank you so much. Yeah, awesome. I think that's enough from me, unless somebody wants to ask more questions about my games.
We do have a couple things for you here. Okay. Before you go, we are going to ask you some dinosaur trivia as well. So we're going to get Eric back on the stream, and we're going to see how you measure up.
I mean, I have a piece of Tyrannosaurus Rex right here. Does that count?
Yeah, do you want to show that off? I see you've got your little...
I've got my science goggles on.
Your science goggles
this
on.
Isn't my costume, even though I'm always in pictures with it. I literally have to have this to see, to look at the super deep structure of this. You can see the bone structure in here, the marrow structure, and then you can see up here, kind of the rest of the bone structure up here where it gets really tight. You actually end up getting some matrix in there too, and so when we work with this stuff for years and years, you learn, kind of what's bone, what's not. There's some lights you can use to kind of help illuminate that a little bit. So yeah, what Eric's doing and all the work that he's doing, he's working with pieces like this, and but yeah, so I'm saying that in advance, so when I make a mistake with these questions, I'll at least have some credibility.
All right,
I'm sure you'll do great.
Yeah, well, I think we are ready here to roll our D20 here. We're not going to be able to switch to the hand cam this time because I think that'll cut Jamie off. So you'll just have to trust me that the number that comes up is the one I say it is. So we've got 4.
Number 4. I do believe this is another one of our Starry Nights special.
We're just hitting all
space
the meteorites
/ medieval history questions. Yes, we are. So this is a over-under style question. The Roman Republic first came into contact with an early form of what would become chainmail armor during a conflict with the Celts in what year?
Okay, so we're doing over-under here, right? Peter, do you want to give the first go here?
Yes. Republic, not Empire.
Yes, Roman Republic.
Then
versus the Empire, right?
I'll pick a round number. I'll say 100 BCE.
Peter says 100 BCE. Jamie, what do you want to pick here?
I'm going to go a little bit higher than that and say 300 BC. So I'm going to do the Price is Right style.
Okay. And you know what? I'll get Peter on the other end here. I'll say 25 BCE.
Well, the winner for this question is Jamie, because the year in question is 290 BCE.
Oh, that's very close.
So congratulations to Jamie on that one. Are we feeling like we want to do another one of these?
We should do another one.
Alrighty.
I have to admit, I am not super brushed up on my Roman history.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think about the Roman Empire every day.
Yeah, do you really?
No. But that's what
all
you're
right.
supposed to say, right?
Next, we've got 5. We've got question number 5.
Number 5. Which of our dinosaurs boasted a hard-headed skull that could have been used for defense, intimidation, or even butting heads with its rivals?
Oh my
Pachycephalosaurus.
goodness. And it would have to be Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, it's got to be Pachycephalosaurus, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Pachycephalosaurus. Congratulations to all three of you.
All right.
Yay.
Do you want to do the overtime question that we have as well? The
The
special meteorite question.
with
You had a question.
oh
about,
yes.
How
The-
many-
yes, I remember. Yes, this is our last Starry Nights question. We've hit all of them. And this question is pretty simple. How many meteorites can you name? So the way we'll do this is we're just going to go around between the three of you. I guess we'll do, we'll go in the same order we've been doing. We'll do Peter, Jamie, Cassie, and just name a meteorite, and last person standing gets my car or something.
I'm
And
actually on the
Can we?
call.
Are we
right
going to
now,
put a
so maybe it
caveat
can
on
just
this and say they have to be
Cassie
named
and Jamie.
meteorites?
Just so I'm not repeating things.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you don't. Yes.
Yeah,
So we'll just
this will just be me and Jamie, I think.
probably
Are
would have
these gonna
tapped
be
out
named-
first
are these
anyway.
gonna be
That's
named
okay.
Meteorites, or are we gonna
There-
do
there's a lot of
NWA
meteorites.
Hang on a
numbers, or
second,
what?
Peter. Yeah, I think
Now, this is
named
where the real
meteorites would be
nerd talk
best
goes
because
now.
we could do so many Northwest Africa meteorites, since there are just so many
Yeah.
of them, and they just have
I mean,
numbers.
some of them have names just because they only have numbers, and somebody wants to give them a name too. So,
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Jamie, do you want to start with a meteorite name?
Semi-chan,
All right. I'm gonna say Starry Night.
Zagami,
Murchison.
Muanianalusta.
All right, that's a good one. Chelyabinsk.
Let's see here. Let me go for Pete Skill,
Nice. Seco to Aline.
Campo de Cielo,
All right. Amgala.
Campo de Canyon Diablo.
Oh shoot! I think that might be it that I can name off the dome. I'm
Gibeon.
bad with lists. Is the thing. I think I'm tapping out.
Keep going.
All right, there we have it. Jamie is our
Giblet Weaslon.
Jamie is our meteorite naming winner. My personal favorite of all those meteorites is Muanianalusta. It's just fun to say.
Mm-hmm.
Muanianalusta.
All right.
Eric,
I think we got
expect to
time.
see we need a song. We need you and Ellis to cook up a song for us.
I think we got time for one more D20 roll here. One more trivia question. We've got 13.
13. Alrighty. For all the dice, our coprolites come from the Morrison Formation, which was home to what type of ecosystem 150 million years ago?
It's a pretty big place, right?
Mhm.
So
yeah, there was a lot of different formations.
you got a lot of different ecosystems there. So you're gonna have wetlands.
I'm
you're
not
gonna
sure.
have
I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Forests. You're gonna have forest
It
areas.
was more
I mean,
swampland, right?
Well, hang on. Jamie's answer.
there would be
Sorry,
swamplands
folks.
there too. I mean, the coprolite we have is big sauropod coprolite. There are also smaller ones from other dinosaurs. But yeah, so this is kind of one of those. It's hard to answer that one because there's a lot of questions, a lot of answers there.
Mm-hmm. Did we get all of the possible land masses in that formation, or is there one that we're missing?
I think you hit all of them. I think you talked about, you said swampland, floodplain, kind of in that general area. So, that sounds good to me.
All right, good
All
stuff.
right.
I don't think you'd have no alpine in that area.
No,
Not yet.
not quite.
Well, thank you,
Later.
Eric.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations, Jamie. I will be sending my car to you. You won that in the name off, so congrats. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
If it keeps you from getting to work, you can hang on to it for a little while.
All right, I'll hold on to it for you.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is super fun. I really enjoyed it. Oh, I don't know if these people are on the stream anymore, but there were some other questions further up. I think Turbo Rally Terror asked everybody to name their favorite die, and we did go through that. So was there anybody who didn't name their favorite die?
I can name my favorite die real quick. I think my favorite one in this set. I'm probably gonna go with the the Triceratops, actually. I like that it is in a D6, since, 6 is divisible by 3, like the 3 horns of the Triceratops. And I also think, Triceratops, probably one of my favorite dinosaurs. Peter?
Whoa, is that why Triceratops is a D6?
I'll tell you what, that's why I suggested Triceratops for D6.
Whoa, you're playing like 7-dimensional chess with your D6s.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I guess I'd have to say the Pachylocephalosaurus. I just think the dome is an interesting adaptation. I guess looking at it, I realize it does kind of a dome shape, which is nice. Has a nice bold dark color.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that'd be my answer.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jamie. Thanks for coming on and chatting with everybody here. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
Sweet.
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
See ya, Jamie.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I think we're reaching towards the end of our time slot here. I think we're just going to go over a little bit about, the campaign real quick at the end here. So thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again for hanging out with us. If you go to BackerKit and you check out the Roll with History campaign, that's the collaboration with Mini Museum and FanRoll, you'll be able to find all of these awesome dice there on the page ready to back. I believe we are shipping in the summer. So if you back now, you'll be able to get those dice actually pretty soon, sometime later this year, hopefully. And also in time for Christmas, if you're looking for a little gift for the holiday season or something like that. And then real quick again, we have 3 awesome sets of dice available. There is the Chainmail D20, which this pledge tier starts at 25. We have the Campo del Cielo Meteorite D20. This pledge tier starts at 49. And then there is the Dinosaur Fossil set of 7 polyhedral dice, which starts at 99. If you want to collect all of them, I would recommend going for the collector's set at $149. And of course, we have plenty of awesome add-ons to share as well. Cool rolling trays, cool rolling mats, awesome pins. You can get all of that at the all-in tier at $259. And that is all on the BackerKit page.
Yeah, that's the run of it.
Yeah. So we still have, some more stuff to talk about with the campaign. We're really just getting started here as far as, our month of the campaign drive. So hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff and updates to come. We might also have some new additions to the campaign, some stuff we've been working on behind the scenes that we might be sharing soon. So hopefully we get to share some of that. If you haven't already, please do go check out the polls that we launched today. We'd love to see some of your feedback on some of what we've been chatting about there. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for backing. We are super excited to keep going with this campaign.
Yeah, thank you for your support so far. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, we will see you on the campaign page. If you got something to share, please drop it in the discussion page there on the campaign.
Yeah, any questions, any support you need, we'll talk to.
Yeah, we're happy to help. We'll also have this stream up and available on our YouTube pretty soon. So if you want to go back and check out anything that we did, that'll be something that you can do. We'll also have that on there in case you want to share it with anybody, somebody that missed the stream. They'll be able to check it out there as well.
Let's thank our team.
Yeah, let's thank our team too. So Carlin and Eric behind the scenes here, thank you too for making this stream run super smoothly. Thanks again to Neil and Jamie for hopping on and discussing with us. Thanks to BackerKit for helping us make this project happen. And thanks to the Follow Marketing team as well. They've been running some operations here in the chat, and they've been helping out a ton with the campaign.
Yes.
So it's been a pleasure to work with everybody.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Thanks again, everybody. We will see you again pretty soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.